Greetings, gentle soul. My name is Jesse Linder. I'm a singer and entertainer at Renaissance fairs throughout the country. I'm based out of the Chicago area. My home fair is the Bristol Renaissance Fair, but I have performed at dozens of festivals throughout the country over the last 25 plus years, including St. Louis Renaissance Festival, the Central Missouri Renaissance Festival, and several years ago, I performed for a couple of years at the Kansas City Renaissance Festival. In the past year or so, I've done festivals in Florida, Northern California, and Oklahoma, and a lot of other places in between. It's been a good life, and I miss being on the road. I miss seeing my friends, but here's a little bit to take all of our minds off of it. Today I'm offering a selection of songs that I've recorded over the last 20 plus years. I've released 5 CDs. 4 of them are solo recordings, studio or live concert recordings, and the 5th one is a compilation of early performances, a lot of them with other groups I've worked with over the years. So enough of that. Oh, as long as we're doing announcements, I don't know if you can read it up here, but I've got my information for PayPal, Jesse Linder Bard, and I have 2 Facebook pages, my friend page, jesse.linder, my band page, jesselinder.bard, and I'm also on Instagram at jesse.linder. So, enough announcements. Let's get into some music. We'll start with one of the earliest songs that I ever learned to play. Oh, my name is Chuck Stewart. I'm a catty young man, and a roving young fellow I be. So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. I'm a roving young blade and a piper by trade, and many's the tune I can play. So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. I've got acres of land, I am men at command, and always a shilling to spare. So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. And it's oft I have sat with a drink and good friends. Could any man e'er ask for more? So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. Let us catch well the hours and the minutes that fly, and we'll share them together this day. So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. So come fill up your glass, I with whiskey or wine, and whatever the cost I will pay. So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. Oh, my name is Chuck Stewart. I'm a canny young man, and a roving young fellow I be. So easy and free when you're drinking with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. So easy and free when you're drinking stand with me. I'm a man you don't meet every day. Again, that's one of the very first songs I learned. As a matter of fact, I took Jock Stewart as my character name for many, many years at the Bristol Renaissance Fair. And he has certain qualities that I have long aspired to. Another one of my early recordings is a song I still get requests for all the time, which is fine because I love singing this song. There is a ship and she sails the sea. She's loaded deep as deep can be, but not as deep as the love I'm in. I know not if I sink or swim. The water is wide, I can't get home. Neither have I the wings to fly. Give me a boat I can carry two, and both shall row. I love the night. I lean my back up against an oak, thinking it was a trusty tree, but first it bent and then it broke, and so my love grew false to me. I reached my hand in a red rose bush, thinking to pluck the sweetest flower, but then it pricked me to the bone, and so I left that flower alone. Now love is handsome and love is kind. Love is a jewel, first is new. Love grows old and waxes cold and fades away like the morning dew. The water is wide, I can't get home. Neither have I the wings to fly. Give me a boat I can carry you, and both shall row. I love at night. Well, right at the end of that, we lost my little sign there. I should have had it better attached, but I'm sure the lovely people who are running this fine page will be providing the information. Somewhere could be scrolling across the bottom of the screen at this moment, for all I know. These things are strange and confusing to me, and I let better people than me handle that kind of thing. Another song that I get a lot of requests for. It's a fine song about having to leave friends and family behind to travel to the New World. The Irish immigrants would typically make their way down into England and leave from the port of Liverpool to travel west. And that's what this song's about, the leaving of Liverpool. Farewell to you, my own true love. I am going far away. I am bound for California, but I know that I'll return someday. So fare thee well, my own true love. When I return, united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but the darling when I think of thee. I have sailed on a Yankee clipper ship, Davy Crockett is her name, and Burgess is the captain of her, and they say she is a floating shame. So fare me well, my own true love, when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but the darling when I think of thee. Now I've sailed with Burgess once before, so I think I know him right well. If a man is a sailor, he can get along, but if not, he is sure in hell. So fare thee well, my own true love, when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of the that grieves me, but the darling when I think of thee. Oh, the sun is on the harbor, love, it's there I would remain. I know it will be such a long, long, long time before I see you again. So fare thee well, my own true love, when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but the darling when I think of thee. So fare thee well, my own true love, when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but the darling when I think of thee. But the darling when I think of thee. That's a fun song. To your health, one and all. And yes, it's water. This is one of my most often requested songs, at least at the Bristol Renaissance Fair. I think it's slowly catching on some of the others, but I don't get to sing it quite as often at my other fairs and festivals. We'll set the scene for you very quickly. Imagine an Irish pub. Now, back in the day, a typical pub was so much more than a drinking establishment, especially in the small Irish towns. You know, the towns may be like 7,500 people, could be even less. And the towns are spread far enough apart that it was probably at least a day's walk to the next town, maybe a half day by wagon or horseback. So you didn't get out much. You got to know the people in your town, but you had very little contact with other places. So in addition to, being a gather place for drink and usually food, it was also kind of a community center. It's a place where people would gather, get news from other towns, hear, the politics from the big cities. And then, of course, you have Friday night. All the amateur musicians in the town would gather together and find a corner in the pub, set up and play all the tunes that they all knew in common. And I was called to Cayley, and it was great crack, to use an Irish term. The term crack has been co-opted in recent years, but I think we're taking it back. But it was about the only entertainment that folks in town would get. So, it was a highlight of their week. This song is about one of those evenings, and specifically the point where you hear "Last Call." And you can hear the disappointment in everyone, not because there's no much more drinks, but because there's no more music. This song is called "All the Tunes in the World." Lay down the borrowed guitar, lay down the fiddle and bow. You'd like one more drink at the bar, but the manager says you must go. And all the tunes in the world are dancing around in your head. But the clock on the pantry says playtime is over. You just have to sing them instead. Lay down the jig and the reel, lay down the planksy and slide. Everyone knows how you feel. There's no time to take one more ride. And all the tunes in the world, they're dancing around in your head. But the clock on the gantry says playtime is over. You just have to sing them instead. Well, the barmaid has put on her coat, and the barman has poured out the slops. The manager's friends are afraid that the music will bring out the cops. And all the tunes in the world are dancing around in your head. But the clock on the gantry says playtime is over. You just have to sing them instead. Everyone here feels the same. Oh yes, you deserve one more tune. To know the rules of the game, it's time to go howl at the moon. And all the tunes in the world are dancing around in your head. But the clock on the gantry says playtime is over. Just have to sing them instead. And all the tunes in the world are dancing around in your head. But the clock on the gantry says playtime is over. You just have to sing them instead. Sing them instead. Such a fun song. I love singing that. One of my favorite things is my good friends at Bristol. have come to recognize their part of the song when I get to the line, "It's time to go howl at the moon." They'll all start howling in unison, and it's a heartwarming feeling. Speaking of heartwarming, if I do say so myself, I haven't written very many songs, but I was very, very blessed when this song came to mind, and it has had a huge impact. It's apparently come to be considered by many to be my signature song. It's a song of embracing your dreams, putting them out there for God or the universe to hear, and expecting good things to happen. It's called Crescent Moon. On a summer's night, on the front porch step, I was sitting on my mama's lap, and as the moon sailed across the sky, my mom would sing this lullaby. Hang your dreams on a crescent moon, hang each one for me and you, and we'll watch each dream come true. Hang your every dream on a crescent moon. I was slipping with a young girl's charms, making plans in my each other's arms. We'd lay for hours beneath the starlit sky, and we would sing Mama's lullaby. Hang your dreams on a crescent moon, hang each one for me and you, and we'll watch each dream come true. Hang your every dream on a crescent moon. The years have passed, that girl is gone. I still smile as my life goes on. My mama's words bring hope anew, until my every dream comes true. Hang your dream on a crescent moon, hang each one for me and you, and we'll watch each dream come true. Hang your every dream on a crescent moon, hang your dream on a crescent moon, hang each one for me and you, and we'll watch each dream come true. Hang your every dream on a crescent moon, hang your every dream on a crescent moon. Thank you so much. I have time for one more song. I do want to mention very quickly, my sign is no longer up, but the information will be available. PayPal, Jesse Linder Bard, all one word. If you're interested in getting my CDs, go to my my Facebook band page, jesselinder.bard, and pinned to the top is a listing of my 5 CDs and how you can order them. You get them directly from me. I'm asking $15 for one, 2 for $25, 3 or more, they're only $10 each, and I cover the postage. So I can also make them available as MP3 files, and I got a couple ways I can do that. I can do a flash drive, I can do Dropbox, or I can create a zip file. whatever you're comfortable with. This last song has become something of my anthem for the current pandemic we're dealing with. A lot of us have taken the opportunity of not being able to perform to find other ways to get our music out, to express ourselves. And for me, one of them was finally getting some kind of online presence. And there are too many people to thank who have made it possible for me to get here. But sometimes adversity creates opportunities, and we can find ourselves blossoming in ways that we never thought possible. When I first heard this song, it's before the crisis hit, and I was drawn to it, but I had a hard time with some of the imagery. It just didn't make sense. When I started seeing what was happening once we were having to deal with the pandemic, it made more sense. And I hope it will to you. The song is called Roses. Lightning spoke the wind. Devil's in me today, my friend. You see that old oak tree down yonder, blow like hell and bring down thunder. When you're raging soon, I'll cut that oak in two. Wind began to moan, the old oak tree began to grow. Thunder spread like thunder raged like hell's own daughter. Air was filled with fire and water, laughing viciously. Lightning struck that tree. The old oak tree began to shudder. It held its ground like some old soldier. Ancient pride was burnt and shaken, but something deep inside did waken. He raised his arms just like Moses. Blossomed roses. Blossomed roses. Sky is clear, air is clean, earth is brown, the forest green. Ancient oak, he still is standing, with strength that passes understanding, like dreams a noble mind composes. Blossomed roses. Blossomed roses. Blossomed roses, 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 blossomed roses. I thank you for your kind attention. I hope you've enjoyed my little offering. Please feel free to put a little something in my virtual tip basket at paypal.me/Jesse Linder Bard. Please like my Facebook page, jesselinder.bard, and check me out on Instagram at jesse.linder. Thank you for your support. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you down the road. Thank you.